Test. Hi, amigas. Welcome to the Candy Coded podcast. This is your host, Candy. And I'm excited to be here today by the simple fact that I get to talk to you all about different things, whether it's girl talk, friendships, family traumas, little chismecito, anything that maybe involves around traveling, eating at different brunch places or coffee shops in the Houston area. And I'm really excited to be here with you all. It's been such a journey from trying to figure out how to connect the cables to how to record. I'm simply really excited to be here with you all today. And just to share with you, the name obviously has my name, my first name. And yes, my name is Candy, Candy. Not Candy with a K, not Dulce, not any other variation that you could possibly think of. Whatever is on your candy bar, that's my name. That is literally my birth name. And so, yeah, I created this podcast because I want to create a space where we connect as a community, girls that have gone through life, or sometimes you just don't know who to turn to because you're the oldest sister. You are currently living your own life. And so sometimes it's hard to connect with other people because as you grow up, you don't really align in certain values and certain ideas. And so it is called Candy Coded because sometimes we'll sugarcoat stuff and sometimes we will not. Sometimes we will be raw and honest because I think that's the way to be, honestly. There's no way to sugarcoat your way through life. Yes, you can try, but it's obviously always better if you're simply honest with everybody that's around you or just simply on my listeners. And so, yeah. So this podcast has been something that I wanted to create at the beginning of the year. And I set this as a goal for myself. I was like, I'm going to create a podcast. I would love to create this project for myself. And as always, I love to listen to podcasts when I'm driving to work, when I'm cooking, when I'm cleaning. So being able to talk to you all where I can simply record it and you guys can listen to me, whether you're working from home, whether you're driving, whether you're at the gym, that's what I want to create. And so just a little bit about this journey. Like I said, I wanted to start off creating a podcast, but if you really think it's just plugging a microphone to your laptop and recording, props to you if you can make that work, because it took me 3 times to record this introduction for y'all. I went back and forth about what I wanted to really talk to you all about. And if you know me, I do not like to talk about myself. I do not like that kind of spotlight on me. I just never know what to say. I'm 29. My name is Candy. What do people find interesting? So to me, this took a while to just talk to you all and realize that I had to dig deeper within myself to be able to share that with you all. Because for me, it's easy, right? You're like, oh yeah, I can grab a microphone and talk about myself. But then when you go back and listen to yourself, you realize that after you listen to the first recording, for me, I was going back and forth. I think I was repeating the same thing over and over. So it took me a while to get out of my shell. It just completely, I thought oh yeah, I have the first episode ready. I'm good to go. Let's edit it. Then I'm listening to it and I make no sense. If I'm not making sense and I don't understand what I'm saying, then you're not going to understand what I'm saying. So it took a while. It took a second try. I was feeling really confident. I was like, this is it. I finally have it. Let's edit. I was rambling all over the place. So I think third time is a charm in this case just because it took a while. But for me, I really had to make sure that I kind of worked on it, because I feel like for me, if I go being super excited, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this, and then I don't do it, then I feel like I'm fully fulfilling what I wanted to do. So I've kept this to myself and made sure that it was something that I was going to go through, because again, I didn't want to put it out there and then record one episode and that'd be the end of it. So the reason I created this podcast is because I want to be able to not only have the opportunity for myself to connect with others, but to give the opportunity for others to connect with you all, whether it's someone that has a very successful business or someone that's barely starting up, and be able to give tips to others, whether it's, a clay earring business, a coffee shop, a photo booth business, a realtor. I think that we can all learn from everyone that's around us if we simply give them the opportunity. And I would love to give that opportunity to my fellow friends, to local Houston people, to come on here and talk and share a little bit of what their journey has been and give those tips to you all, because I think that's when we learn best, right? I think that if you sit down and watch YouTube, you would be probably disengaged, but when it's somebody real talking to you and opens up exactly how they started their business and what it's been like for them. Of course, everybody's startup journey looks different, but sometimes I think being able to connect and like take what you learn from someone can help you, because I think that sometimes people don't take the time to really learn from someone. They just see like, oh, someone's successful, like I want to be just like them. But we don't know what it's like to have maybe sleepless nights, maybe go through days without eating because you're so busy. And just being able to hear that from someone's perspective, someone's own voice, will help us understand a little bit how that went for them. And so, with that being said, get ready to learn, to hear from people that you might know, might have heard of. Just be ready for the guests that I am going to bring onto my show. And I'm super excited to be able to learn from them as well. Other things that are important to me are family, traveling, and food. If you know me, I'm a really big family person, and my family has been my biggest support system. And honestly, I would not be where I am without them. For traveling, I want to share tips and tricks of what I will not do again, what I would change, and if there's places that I would definitely go back because I just enjoyed it that much. And food, who doesn't love food? Especially tacos, elotes, and just pretty good looking drink. At my old job, I used to work with nothing but moms. So they would always ask me, like, after they would see my Instagram, like, where were you at this past weekend? Because that looks so pretty, or that food looks so good. And whether it's somewhere local or they're going somewhere out of town, they would always ask me, like, hey, like, where should we stay at? Or where do you recommend I go for this weekend? Because in the past, like, we've traveled, like, just a road trip over the weekend. And I think that you can do so much if you set the time or like the budget to explore different places, because some places are free, and just being able to explore, and the fact that they would actually take my advice because they don't have time to look at reviews or look it up on Google. They would simply trust what I said. They would go have the experience, their kids would have fun, and they'd come back and say like, girl, we enjoyed that a lot. So thank you for recommending that. Or I never knew that place existed. Like, how did you find it? And so honestly, for me to create a platform or a space where I can share that with you all, because I don't like to gatekeep. I like to share with you all what I've learned. And so just being able to tell you like places I recommend. Man, there's sometimes places that are free, 99, and it's such a great experience. And the same thing goes for traveling. I think that we've learned things here and there of like how to use public transportation or how to avoid certain places where we've traveled to, just because we saw how our experience was. And so sharing that out there for y'all makes it possible for you all to experience or have a better experience than what we had when we traveled. So I would like to share with you all that information. And I would love to invite my friends that live abroad and share how they have coped to adapt and settle in a whole different country. If the fact of moving to a whole other city within the US seems a little bit like scary, imagine moving to a whole different country and starting your life from scratch. Now that's impressive. Moving from apartment to a house or an apartment to apartment seems a little bit, scary. Now imagine moving across seas or moving across the world to be able to like pursue your goals and dreams. Now that's something to talk about. And so you stay tuned with the next upcoming episodes. You'll hear from some of my friends, business owners, and myself talk about different topics that I mentioned about earlier. And with that being said, I will keep this introduction short and sweet. Hi, amigas. Thank you for watching my video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at the Candy Coated Podcast, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok as the Candy Coated Podcast. And also visit my website, candycoatedpodcast.com. As always, thank you so much for all the love, the support you give me. And I hope you have a great day, amiga. Bye.